We are going to live trace photos. Let's kind of take a look at some of those settings here. So I'm going to place one of the photos from the live trace photos folder that you have. Start off with the first one, which is a black and white photograph of this woman holding a camera. Classic picture, real sweetheart here. So with the photo selected, I'm going to go into my live trace options, and I've kind of skipped over a couple. We were doing mostly like this, the high contrast black and white things, but we have photo low fidelity. I'm going to click on preview so you can see the results, and there are some okay renderings for your photos where you've now exited the raster bitmap world of this photograph. It's now represented as a bunch of different shades of black, white, and gray. So now it's going to be infinitely scalable. However, if you get in close, let's have a look just by that default preset there. If I expand this thing, wow, that's a lot of paths. It's crazy. Zoom in to something like her eye, and you can see what is going on here. It's just layering of different vector paths. Getting in close, not really that great of a detail, right? It poses some of its own issues, just like pixels would. However, it kind of works, kind of works. I'm gonna hit undo. Twice. I'm gonna do it again. Okay. So photo high fidelity will give you greater ranges in those values. So it'll be even more complex with more shades of gray. Let's see, and look at this. I mean, it's going to take forever. Good golly. Almost there. Almost there. You can do it. Just put another dime in the MacBook. Come on. Do it. Do it. Why did I do that? I don't know. And there it is. So you can see, without me even expanding it, that it does look better. There's the same magnification of that area, and far more variations of the vector paths around there. So it'll be higher fidelity, higher detail. It's also just a real beast, and basically including that many paths into one document. The other thing you could do is you could check out your own sort of adaptations of this, so you can still get into your your blurs or that sort of a deal with these presets. Pretty interesting results. If I just went to, well, I guess I'll just look at the default setting here. If I try to favor more whites, you can get some pretty cool like posterization of photos. So not only am I looking for detail, or not only do I, how do I say this? Not only can I go for kind of a detailed vector thing, which personally I don't think they look very good. I'm more interested in this kind of result, which is more of a suggestive, kind of artistic rendering of photos. Illustrator isn't a photo program, Photoshop is a photo program. but you can really kind of push the boundaries of those images that are represented by all those pixels that make up a photo and get some really kind of cool results. I love her face here. There is no detail, but there's enough of the face to know that, you know, she's happy. She's got a nice smile. I'm going to mess with my threshold a little bit more. So if you could imagine kind of taking this photo into Illustrator here several times and doing different traces at different thresholds or different blurs, and then composite that on top of each other, it could be really kind of cool. I'm going to hit cancel, and I'll delete her. I'm going to place a colored one, this Chinese room image. So here's this beautiful vase of flowers, and it's got, you know, great color in this shot. It's really beautiful. What happens if we go and check out our tracing options here? Right off the bat, if we look at just the default trace, it's kind of cool. I really like this line stuff that's happening on the right. I love the outlines of the flowers. It's really pretty neat. And just by, you know, changing my threshold, I could, you know, almost eliminate everything but the flowers, which is kind of cool. Or I can get down into favoring the highlights more and see that there's different steps where you're picking up different parts of this picture. It's really kind of neat. I think this stuff is really fascinating. Other presets to look at here, you can look at color. And so if I went with color 6, it's going to isolate the amount of colors to just 6. So you can pretty much count it. I have a dark red, a medium red, a lighter red, and a pink, and then 2 shades of gray. So there's my 6 colors. If you have a look at your adjustments, you can change the amount of colors. I could down it to 5. Did I get rid of anything? Hard to tell. Yes, I got rid of 1 color, down to 4 colors, 3 colors, 2 colors. So pretty neat just messing with the amount of colors that you could include in a piece. Obviously, the higher number of colors, the more complex the vector paths will be. So there is a color 16, and now it's getting a bit more into a representational rendering of that photo. But it's we've left photorealism completely, and it's this kind of neat illustrative sort of design, which is pretty cool. So one of the things that I should show you about the color now is that, I'm going to hit cancel. You can choose a swatch to work with. If you go to your swatches palette, and on the bottom left is a button that opens up your swatches. Here's all these different color swatch groups. Earth tone opens up this nice earth tone palette of just colors that work well together, that just have sort of a pleasant earthy feel. There's a metal one, which is, I should file that in there, which is kind of nice shades of different metal colors. And then there's like nature or scientific. We can get into complementary colors. So these little palettes, if they are open, can be accessed in Live Trace. So I go back into my tracing options now and I choose color 6, click on my preview. There's a field here called palette. Automatic just means it's going to sample colors out of the photograph, streamline them based on the amount of colors you have set, and then represent your photo with those colors. But since I've gone in now and opened up the earth tone, the metal, and the complementary, I could use those to bring in color. And now what it's done is it's overridden the 6 value, and it says, okay, well, earth tone has 44 colors in it, and we're going to use all of them, or as many as we feel that we could throw into this picture. If I go to metal, metal has 55 colors in it. If I go to complementary, complementary only has 12. So you can see what it's doing is using those different swatch palettes from the library, but it's using all of the colors that are in there. So you could do something where if I hit cancel and I come back to, I want to get my, well, let's do earth tones. This palette, you could basically get rid of some of these. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. We can get rid of, or actually like sort of redefine a new palette that would allow you to not have to use all 44 or 55 of those things. And now I'm trying to remember how I do this. I'm jumping ahead of myself. A new color group. I don't want a new color group. What I want is a new palette. I want a new palette, new palette, new palette, new palette, new palette. I guess this is my new swatch library. Open save swatch library. Okay. Well, this is going to be it. This is going to be it right here. Okay. So in your swatch panel, you can get rid of color groups by throwing them in the trash. You can hold down Shift and select different colors. Throw them in the trash. I'm just trying to basically streamline my colors here in the swatches to be just a group that I might want, like this one and that one. So I went back to my earth tones panel and I clicked on the little folders, which are called sets or groups. And now in this swatch panel, I've only got 8 colors, which means if I come back to here now and I go to my tracing options and I want to pick color 6, do a preview. Oh, it's not going to be there. It's going to be automatic. Crap. Yep, I just said crap. Oh, I should have just done this ahead of my movie to make sure I remembered how to do this. I want all swatches. No, I have to save it. Maybe that's what I have to do. You guys get to watch me. You get to watch me troubleshoot or make a fool out of myself, not be able to do it. I've done this though. All right, I'm gonna call it my Earth. I'll save it in there. So now, user defined my Earth. There we go. I'll go back and show you what I did. I just have to make sure that it actually is going to work. Color 6, palette, my Earth. Yeah, there we go. My 8 colors. Yay! Oh, success! And that wasn't too bad. All right, so your swatch, your main swatch library. You saw how I threw out all those colors, and then how I added the ones that I wanted from a different library. You know, I could go to foods and do fruit or something like that. And so I'll throw away my earth values, and in the foods I'll pick like this one and maybe that one. So I have these 2 new groups in here, and what I have to do is save this swatch library as a Adobe Illustrator library. It's the very bottom one on this little flyout menu on the top right of that swatch panel. This one doesn't matter anymore. So if I do save swatch library as whatever, and I call it my fruit, or I could do my flower vase, whatever. Now that is a library that I can load from my swatch library list. There's one at the bottom called user defined, and these are all the ones that you've made yourself. So I pull up my fruit, And there's the 9 colors of fruit. And I can then go to my tracing options. I can choose my color 6 or whatever, and then just choose the palette of my fruit. Excuse me. And oh boy, not loving the result, but there it is. There it is. Okay. So if I was happy with this, or if I wanted to, start with this as I kind of make my project, I might not want all that background stuff. So I'd have to hit trace, and then I would want to expand. And it's now here where I can start pulling out different shapes if I wanted to. So, for example, I could say that with my direct selection tool, I would like to select my dark sort of purple, maybe my light purple. Well, you know what I'll do? I think I'll start with the flowers. I'm going to select the light yellow flower. I'm going to go to my select menu. I'm going to select the same fill color. So that'll go through and select any other yellows of that color, and I'm going to hit copy, and then I'm going to hit paste in place, which is Command Shift V for me. Yep, paste in place, Command Shift V. I might just make a new layer and then drag that artwork into the new layer. Turn that layer off for a second. And then I could select that light green that's back there and do the same thing. Select, same fill color. So now it's selected all that light green. I can do copy and then go to my other layer, paste. Did it paste it in place? Undo. There we go. And there is just the yellow and the green from that one document, which obviously all this other stuff that's kind of hanging on the sides, I can just select it, get rid of that, because maybe I just want the flower work for the time being, something like that. Because then I can start thinking about making my own piece of art, which I could have a nice solid in the background, put that in the back, and I won't take that, blow these up a bit. And now I'm creating my own illustration, my own piece of art from a file of a photograph, whatever, of this flower that I'm kind of stealing from. I could then do some reflecting with my reflect tool. I could reflect vertical, make a copy of it, move that over here. Now I've got this kind of cool mirrored image of the flower. Maybe I keep them in there like this. It's awesome. I mean, this is what we're talking about here. This is where the good stuff starts to happen. Yeah, Live Trace takes a picture, turns it into vectors. But you are the artist, and you have the amazing, beautiful mind to start thinking about pulling apart photos, reassembling these vector shapes to create something new, and kind of own it, right? I mean, I could just spend like a whole hour here just using these flowers and create something that it would never look like that photo in the first place, but could be just as beautiful, if not more. And it's kind of a neat journey from photo to a piece of art. So there's working with photographs, and there's the description for this project 3. And in the description, I just kind of, I talk about how I don't want you just to put a photograph in there or something and hit the button live trace and then walk away from it. I want to see you get in there. I want to see you move these things around and change scale. Start working with multiple photographs or illustrations and just kind of create something that is far more interesting than the photograph or just the sketch that you started with. And making use of some of those other tools. Like if I now went to, I guess I'll do this, my rectangle tool, and I made a vertical rectangle on the left, and then I duplicate it and put one on the right, and then I go get my blend tool. I don't want smooth color, I want specified steps. No, I'll do specified distance. One of those rectangles is 14 pixels wide, so I might just leave that at 14 pixels. See what happens. So blend from there to there. Nope. It has to be double. Double. 28. Yeah, there we go. Put that behind the little flowers. And now I'm starting to create a design. I'm getting all designy on this stuff. Pretty cool. This should be a little more centered. I could copy and then paste it. Whoa, what just happened? Shoot. Undo. Paste. Make it smaller. And then I could just say, let's make those dark or something. Yeah. Anyways, you get the idea. I'd probably start going back to some other images to see what I could pull in. But you could probably do some really cool stuff just with the flowers here. So I think that's what I needed to cover for working with photographs and getting some color in there. The next thing you'll see is about live paint.